So what's new with California's state regulations on single-use plastics? Well, we're going to cover it today, along with two other states on another new edition of Nexus Now. The June 2022 passage of SB 54, California's Plastic Pollution Prevention and Packaging Producer Responsibility Act, was a milestone in the state's leading efforts to address plastic waste. On March 15, 2024, the state took its next step in implementing that broad and complex law, unveiling draft regulations aimed at curbing single-use plastic waste within the state. SB 54 mandates a 25% reduction in single-use plastic packaging and foodware disposables, aiming to achieve a recycling rate of 65% for these materials. It also requires all single-use packaging and plastic foodware to be recyclable or compostable as defined by California law by 2032. This law is seen as one of the most comprehensive and stringent of its kind in the U.S. Importantly, the regulations of SB 54 would place significant and specific requirements on plastic packaging producers to enhance design and create end-of-use markets for recycled material, with penalties for non-compliance. As incentives, the regulations would offer $55 million in grants for companies pursuing these aims. SB 54 is the keystone of California's bid to lead in the global movement to reduce plastic waste and enhance recycling. It comes as momentum grows for an international treaty to curb plastic pollution, setting ambitious goals for reducing single-use plastic waste and improving recyclability and compostability of packaging and foodware by 2032. This legislation is part of California's larger move toward laws supporting a circular economy where product and material life cycles are extended through design improvements and recycling initiatives, reducing the amount of waste that ends up in landfills. So that was SB 54. Now here's an update on California's SB 1335. Back in 2018, California passed a law, SB 1335, requiring disposable food service packaging items at all California state facilities like airports, colleges, and universities to be reusable, recyclable, or compostable by 2021. SB 1335 aims to ensure food service packaging fits into the state's recycling and composting systems by creating more collection and reuse options at state facilities and by reducing contamination in recycling and composting streams. SB 1335 requires CalRecycle to maintain a list of approved food service packaging, which includes products that meet specific reusable, recyclable, or compostable criteria. So what's CalRecycle's definition of reusable, recyclable, and compostable? They define reusable as the material must be able to be reused after 780 cycles in a cleaning and sanitizing process. Recyclable is defined as the material must be collected by at least 75% of recycling programs statewide and have sufficient commercial value to be marketed for recycling in the aftermarket. Their definition of compostable is the material must qualify to be regularly collected for composting by at least 50% of organic waste recycling programs statewide and 50% of the compost facilities that accept mixed materials. Both SB 54 and SB 1335 only apply to regulations in California. There are other city and county bans on single-use plastics in California that are completely different. For example, the counties of San Mateo and Marin in Northern California have completely banned single-use plastics, requiring all disposable food packaging to be 100% compostable. Now, here's an update on what has changed in the single-use plastics in Colorado. On January 1st, 2024, the great state of Colorado passed a House Bill 21-1162, which states that all retail food establishments in the state of Colorado are prohibited from distributing containers and cups made from EPS, or expanded polystyrene, commonly referred to as styrofoam or foam. House Bill 21-1162, also known as the Plastic Pollution Reduction Act, that was passed back in 2021. The act also prohibits stores and retail food establishments from providing single-use plastic bags. So in Colorado, who does this ban apply to? The ban applies to retail food establishments, which are defined as businesses that prepare or package food for human consumption, either directly or through a delivery service. The food can be eaten on or off premises of the food establishment, including restaurants, fast food establishments, food trucks, cafeterias, and schools. What types of polystyrene or styrofoam containers are included in the ban? That would include hinged food containers, plates, bowls, cups, and trays. The interesting thing about this House bill in Colorado is that A1 Organics, the state's largest industrial composting facility, banned anything other than yard waste and food scraps in March of 2023. Besides avoiding imposter compost products, the decision was intended to slow the arrival of more obvious contaminants like diapers, shoes, and glass bottles. The shift forced communities served by A1 Organics, including Boulder, Arvada, and Lafayette, to exclude paper products or compostable containers from curbside compost bins. Denver enforced the same rules and kept the restrictions in place even after dropping A1 Organics as its composting contractor in favor of Waste Management earlier this year. An A1 Organics manager said, "This change helped clean up the stream, but it has limited local and state ambitions to divert waste away from landfills. Colorado's estimated combined compost and recycling rate sits at only 16%, roughly half the national average." Now here's what's happening with single-use plastics in the state of Washington. In regard to expanded polystyrene, or EPS, otherwise known as foam, the state of Washington passed RCW 70A.245.070, which prohibits the sale and distribution of EPS, or expanded polystyrene, food service disposable packaging anywhere in the state. The bill would also require that food service businesses provide any type of plastic utensils, straws, condiment packaging, and cup lids only upon request, with some exceptions made for hot beverage lids, drive-thrus, and delivery services. Wow, that's a lot to soak in. Now here's a couple of new manufacturers that Nexus represents that make green disposable packaging. First is Verterra, who is a manufacturer in Southeast Asia that collects elephant palm leaves off of the jungle floor, steams them, and converts the leaves into plates, bowls, and platters. Verterra also buys fallen balsa wood trees from Indonesian government officials and converts the trees into catering boxes. All of these products are 100% compostable. The second manufacturer is rPlanet Earth. This company buys recycled water bottles from recycling centers, grinds up the bottles, washes the resin, and uses it to make new food service disposable cups. All of rPlanet's cups are 100% post-consumer resin and are again 100% recyclable. rPlanet's cups are a true closed-loop story. One thing that is important to remember is that not complying with these single-use plastics rules and regulations in most states, cities, and counties means that there may be a risk of fines and penalties that could be enforced by local, city, or state officials. As a result, if you need help with your disposable packaging options, please contact Nexus today. Well, that concludes another edition of Nexus Now. Thanks for watching.